So Stan, African Gold Corp is sitting with about a 25 million market cap company. I've noticed throughout my career, there seems to be this milestone moment where investor participation picks up, people start believing the deal. What is that moment for African Gold?
It needs two things. First of all, remember, any junior project, the chances are most of them don't go into production. Our strength has been not only acquiring them, but turning them around and putting them into production. All the mines over the last 15 years we started are still operating.
African Gold Group Incorporated is a client and sponsor of PinnacleDigest.com, whose parent company owns shares and warrants of African Gold Group Incorporated. Please read the full disclosure at the end of this video.
I've arrived in Toronto, the mining investment capital of the world. Sentiment has turned positive in the gold sector after a multi-year bear market. With central banks turning dovish again and the price of gold hovering near $1,500 an ounce, capital is starting to flow back into the precious metal sector. The approximate half-decade-long bear market in gold from 2013 to 2017 left many exploration and development stage assets in limbo or hanging on for dear life. However, today's rising gold prices could fatten the wallets of senior and mid-tier producers, potentially setting the stage for a period of increased M&A. As in past gold bulls, many producers use their improved margins to add to their exploration targets, resources, and reserves by making acquisitions of smaller companies. In just a few moments, I'll be meeting with Stan Bharti of Forbes Manhattan, a merchant bank with a focus on resource-based opportunities. A self-described gold entrepreneur, Mr. Bharti is a professional mining engineer and financier who has capitalized on several commodity cycles, enjoying various successes in the capital markets along the way. Stan, it's great to be with you. It's October 2019. Everybody wants to know where the price of gold is going. We're hovering around $1,500 an ounce. Is the price here to stay?
Listen, I'm very bullish on gold. We've had 10 years of one of the best equity markets I've seen. Don't forget, 10 years ago, the S&P 500 was at 1,500. It's at almost at 3,000. It's double, which is given a 12% return. The smart money is now realizing that the equity markets in a cheap environment where interest rates are low have topped, and people are going to hard assets. And always the first thing that moves is gold.
You tend to focus on juniors in the gold space, more advanced juniors. Why is that?
The real leverage for most investors is in junior gold stories, which can go 5x, 10x in a good gold market. Right. We saw that in the last bull market in gold from 03 to 012, how the junior equities from pennies went to dollars and got taken out by the majors. I think we're at the cusp of a second cycle like that.
So Stan, it's one thing to talk about these kinds of successes. You've actually had them in your career. Can you talk about some of your bigger wins over the last 5-10 years?
I started with a little company called Desert Sun. It was a mine, Jacobina. We acquired from Anglo American for $5 million. And at that time, Anglo had spent over $100 million on it. They had operated it, they were losing money. We acquired it, turned it around. Today, it's Yamana's best mine. We sold it to Yamana for $750 million approximately in 2006. And today, over 30% of the NAV of Yamana comes from this mine. So not only is the mine operating, they've expanded it further.
Let's talk about Africa. You recently became chairman and CEO of a little-known TSX venture company, Africa Gold Group. It's located in Mali. What are the meat and potatoes behind this project, and why'd you get involved?
So 2 years ago, I got approached by a banker in Toronto saying, listen, African Gold Group, it's listed, has gone on hard times, they were having trouble operating in Mali, gold prices were low, the company was out of money, so we said, okay, we'll take it over. But I really wanted to focus on African Gold, or AGG as we call the symbol. AGG, I wanted to focus on it when the gold market started coming back. And we felt this summer it was coming back. And we've had a huge success in Mali before in a company called Avion Resources. AGG has a similar look. Fully permitted project, a good resource in southern Mali, which is the third largest gold producer in Africa. And for $5 million, we acquired 25-30% of the company.
Now, we're just coming out of a gold bear market. Numerous assets have been depressed. You could have picked up an asset in Ontario, Nevada, wherever.
Our model is to find undervalued assets in emerging markets.
Now, I've never been to Mali, but in prepping for this interview, I learned they're the third largest producer in Africa. What is the political environment like in that country?
So Mali is one of the more stable countries, southern Mali. They have some issues in northern Mali with incursions, but southern Mali has been stable for a long time. There are some of the large major companies operating there. from all over the world. And they have been operating for tens of years. We've been in Mali, like I said, since 2008, and we've had no major difficulties.
What's the response been like from people and politicians? You know, you're a foreign mining company coming in. How's it been to work with them?
First of all, the Malian government is very pro-mining. We've had a manager there at the site, a Malian local guy who's very well connected with all the politicians, the Minister of Mines. We've met them all, they've been supportive. We also are very fortunate that we are grandfathered in the old mining laws, which means the new mining code, which is coming in, which will increase some royalties, doesn't apply to us. So it's even more attractive as a project.
Let's talk about the current resource estimate. I understand it only covers like approximately 25% of the Kobada property.
The potential, we have 117 square kilometers of land position, exploration permits and mining permits. We're operating on less than 4 kilometers. The belt extends for a long way. And we've seen, because we've had many artisanal miners here over the years, and they've been working all along the belt. And artisanal miners, they mine maybe 1 ounce a year, 2 ounces a year, so they know where to go for the highest grade gold.
So Dan, you're the COO of African Gold Group. You're based in Cape Town. Can you talk about some of the mines you've built in your career?
Sure. So I've been involved, all my career has been in Africa. I've spent a lot of time in South Africa in the gold mines. I then moved into the copper mines and the cobalt mines in the DRC and Zambia.
What challenges, if any, do you see moving forward as you guys, move it closer to production?
The beauty of Kobada is the exploration's done. We're almost ready to push the button on construction. We're sitting in the right place within the Birimian and Greenstone belt in Mali. The gold is easily liberated. It's a great project to get our teeth into. There's no major challenges with it that we see. The country is stable. We have a good relationship with government. We have excellent relationships with the local communities, and they're all the ingredients that you need for a successful mine.
So Stan, African Gold Corp is sitting with about a 25 million market cap company. I've noticed throughout my career, there seems to be this milestone moment where investor participation picks up, people start believing the deal. What is that moment for African Gold?
It needs two things. First of all, remember, any junior project, the chances are most of them don't go into production. Our strength has been not only acquiring them, but turning them around and putting them into production. All the mines over the last 15 years we started are still operating. Soledad in Peru, Jacobina in Brazil, Avion and Tabakoto in Mali, and of course Crocodile Gold in Australia. So all these mines are operating. Now to get the investors' attention, we're doing some more drilling. We already have a good resource of 2 million ounces. We want to expand it, and we also want to update the feasibility. And the moment we start construction, investors start to take you seriously because, oh, this mine will really produce. And that, together with the price of gold going up, is when you get the attention.
So you guys are working through the definitive feasibility study. What stage is that at? It's hoping to be complete by March 2020. Is it on track?
It's on track. It's going to be done earlier. There is an existing feasibility study. All we're doing is updating some of the numbers. It's being done by a company called Senate out of South Africa. We're all over Africa, very well known. In fact, they're one of their biggest clients is Glencore, so we've used them before.
What about investors who are still on the fence when it comes to Africa? What do you say to them?
Listen, no question, Africa has been challenging over the last few years. You have to know when you work in Africa what to do. Now, there are certain countries that are better than others. Mali is one of them. Ghana is another one of them. West Africa generally has been reasonably stable for mining projects. But in Africa, our strength is we've been in Africa since the late 90s. I've been working in Africa for many years, so we know the continent well. We know what countries to work in. Plus, we have local management teams. That's very important when you're dealing with the local artisanal miners, when you're dealing with the local tribes, the local chiefs. For example, in African Gold, previous management, before I got involved, had some difficulties with the artisanal miners. They couldn't get them off the property. And there was a big fight. In fact, the camp got burned down by these people. We went, talked to the chief, our chief operating officer, Danny Callow, went, talked to the chief, and we've come to an arrangement. We've hired local people, we've employed them, and now there are no artisanal miners. We can operate, and the camp has been rebuilt. Just an example of how, as in Canada, we work with the local population, social responsibility, that's very important.
Do you guys have plans to turn the drills on?
We are, right now as we speak, there are 2 drills at the site, another one coming in next week. So our Vice President of Exploration is at the site. We have a big 17,000 meter program that's happening, so we will get more results. Yeah. And the plan is to do 2 things. One is to see, because We didn't do a lot of deep drilling. We want to go to 350 meters and see where the oxide and the sulfide cutoff happens. And the second is see the strike extension, because we're on a very small part of the property as we speak.
One of the most enjoyable aspects of what I do is speaking with seasoned financiers and market pros, such as Stan Bharti. They provide a wealth of knowledge, having seen the good, the bad, and the ugly from their respective industries, yet remain optimistic and ready for the next venture. Gold exploration and mining are risky and uncertain, especially in foreign countries. But with a 2016 NI 43-101 resource estimate and leadership that has been involved in several African projects in the past, including the sale of a project that is still in production in Mali, African Gold appears suited to the challenge.